and welcome to the Spotlight. I'm Ashanti Stewart.
And I'm Miriam Woodard. Here's your local news.
Human skeletal remains found in a pasture in Lakeland on Friday have presumptively been identified as 65-year-old Vincent Gutierrez. Gutierrez, who suffered from dementia and schizophrenia, was said to have walked away from Tender Loving Care retirement residence on December 21st and was not seen or heard from since. The Polk County Sheriff Office says Monday the remains were found in a pasture by witnesses who were driving an all-terrain vehicle in the pasture. The remains were turned over to the medical examiner's office of the 10th Judicial Circuit, which will work with forensic experts from the University of Florida to make a positive identification. Flipping the script, our very own Kaylee Baker took an interesting trip this week. Let's see what she did in Community Spotlight.
Hey everyone, today we are here at one of Lakeland's many nature preserves, Circle B. Before we go around and see the sights, I'm going to go inside and talk to Gay Sharp and see what this place has to offer. Most people don't know just how much there is to do here.
What we do out here, though, there's lots and lots of different activities. We have where you can take a guided hike with a naturalist. Some of the other kind of different, because we normally close at nightfall, is we've done special tours taking people around in the night because you hear all these sounds. And that's a totally different kind of sense that you're using when you can't see everything. And that's kind of very exciting to be able to go around and hear and pick out what's going on, which are the frogs or the birds, or if you're hearing rustling in the bushes and those types of things.
Along with gorgeous scenery, there are also tons of different animal species.
If you're here on a very, like during the winter months when we have a lot of migration, you may see over 100 different bird species in one day. So that's pretty tremendous to see that many different birds. We have bobcat out here, we have fox, we have coyote, of course the marsh rabbits, and just, pretty much an array. The one thing we do not really have out here living here on this site is deer.
Now that the weather's starting to warm up a little more, make sure you come on down and explore some of Florida's natural beauty. For the Spotlight News, I'm Kaylee Baker.
Thank you so much, Kaylee Baker. So I actually have had the opportunity to go to Circle B Reserve, and I feel like it gets kind of overshadowed by a lot of college students, but it's an amazing facility, and they even have a conference facility that you can use. Free of charge, so you don't have to pay anything for it. So a lot of teachers use the facility, and it's beautiful and gorgeous, and you get to see all of the nature outside there too. Wow. So Circle B is definitely a place anyone can check out for free for picnicking, hiking, bicycling, and more. The Winter Haven Municipal Airport opened its runways Monday despite concerns just days before that it wouldn't have the resources to do so. A week before the city was set to take over operations from Heart of Virginia Aviation, Jamie Beckett, chairman of the Airport Advisory Committee, warned city commissioners and staff that the airport was without employees, fuel, and equipment. But Airport Director Leo Treggy pulled everything together like he promised. Growth Management Director Merrill Bishop said the airport was not only busy, but running smoothly. Now our very own Grant Bell is going to be hitting Southeastern University's campus to discuss some hot topics.
We're in college. We're adults. It's tough. And let's be honest, guys. Sometimes we tell ourselves, I just want to be a kid again. Well, trust me, you're not the only one that's been thinking this lately. Hello, everyone. I'm Grant Bell, and this is Hot Topic. We've asked the community of SCU to find out their thoughts on the hashtag entitled, I'll never be too old to. Take a look.
I'll never be too old to go to Disney World.
I would definitely say I would never be too old to travel. It's something I've done all my life as a missionary kid. So I don't think age would stop me from traveling and experiencing new cultures and stuff.
Disney movies have been around way before I was born, and I just enjoy watching them.
Even when I'm in a wheelchair and dying, I'm still gonna be hitting up that Mickey Mouse.
I will never be too old to watch the Christmas movie Home Alone.
Whether if you may need to take a road trip with your friends or family, pop in a Disney movie, or go to Disney, if you can afford it, do something to help you go back to your days as a child, to help diminish that college stress and give yourself a break from adulting. It's a crazy world we live in, which means things are bound to change in an instant. Let's talk about it. Be sure to stay tuned to see what we will ask you guys next. Thank you everyone for joining me. I'm Grant Bell, and this has been Hot Topic. Back to you, Ashanti and Miriam.
Thanks, Grant. So the topic of being old, like growing old, again, as college students, that's not something we think about ever. But I love how some people were thinking about it, thinking about, you know, I'll never be old to travel or watch Home Alone, of course, because it's a traditional, you know, fun movie. But my favorite would have had to been Disney World. You're never too old to go to Disney. And living here, it's right in our backyard. And they make it so affordable for us to do so.
Especially with Groupon.
Exactly. Groupons are amazing.
Well, sports is kicking up right now. We have exciting reports with Asher and Brendan.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brandon Crotchet.
And I'm Asher Polion, and this is your Spotlight Sports Update. The men's basketball team snapped a 4-game losing streak and improved to 15-10 with an impressive 82-57 victory over conference rival Ave Maria. Larry Taylor led the Fire in scoring with 17 points, including 4 made field goals from beyond the arc. Next up for us is a trip to Miami as the boys take on Florida Memorial today at 4 p.m.
The women's basketball team has been flat out dominant so far this year, posting a 19-4 record overall. Though SCU women posted double digits in the Sun Conference win column this past Wednesday after beating Ave Maria 59-51. Junior Kristen Strawbridge has gotten a double-double in the last 3 games and earned her 4th Sun Conference Player of the Week this past week. The Lady Fire will be back in action today at 2 p.m. as they head down to Miami to take on the Florida Memorial Lions.
The baseball team opened their 2016 campaign on a sour note, unfortunately, as they were swept in a 3-game series against the preseason number 8 Georgia Gwinnett College. The Fire are currently wrapping up a 4-game series against Avila University on our home field. Be sure to come out and support them as the second game of the doubleheader is set to begin at approximately 3 p.m.
The Southeastern football team signed 20 players this past Wednesday as a part of National Signing Day. This is the first time in school history where the team addressed specific needs as opposed to filling up roster space. One of the recruits, Oviedo linebacker McKinley Mitchell, aka Kiwi, is listed as a 4-star prospect and considered D1 Baylor and Oregon State before signing with SCU.
The wrestling team dominated their last meeting against Spartanburg Methodist College with a 53-6 victory. They take on Bruton Parker College today at 11 a.m. in what should be a great matchup.
So far this offseason has been relatively quiet for Southeastern soccer. However, former men's assistant coach Randy Belai was recently hired to take over for the women's team this upcoming season. Coach Belai has previous experience coaching women's soccer, working as an assistant for USF for 2 seasons, which saw the Lady Bulls reach the Big East Conference Tournament for the first time in program history. This will be Belai's first head coaching position at the collegiate level. Speaking of soccer, our Spotlight reporter Carly Palmer sat down with SCU's own Chloe Durham as a part of her show, Behind the Plays.
As most people know, you're a very sociable person. You're a very team player. You work a lot with the team and just, you know, you're a hard worker in general.
Thanks.
And so what would you say is one of your favorite things about playing soccer?
I just really like the camaraderie that comes with being on a team. Specifically the team at Southeastern, I've, you know, like you and other girls who've been playing, I've been on a lot of teams, unique teams, but there's nothing like this team here. I just really like the support and the encouragement that comes through competing together and, you know, striving for the same goal.
Mm-hmm. I remember you talking a little bit about it earlier with Flagler and everything, and when we played you guys actually freshman year, Chloe and I are teammates if you guys haven't gotten that already. When we played you freshman year, you kind of saw something different about this team. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, definitely. So I grew up a Christian. My dad's a pastor. My mom is really involved in the church and teaches at a Christian school. So I was familiar with the Christian school and the Christian environment, but being in a secular school at a secular program, we weren't used to really just being loved on and prayed for the way Southeastern did when y'all came to Flagler. It was life-changing. The girls on my team at Flagler brought it up several times just because there was just such a unique and genuine spirit about you guys, and it made me proud to be a Christian, just seeing the way you guys worked so hard on the field and battled it out, but just strive to glorify God.
To check out the rest of the interview, log on to Facebook and search The Spotlight or YouTube and search SCU Spotlight. So Asher, You know, for Carly's first time, doing reporting and doing an interview, I think she did pretty good. But how do you think she did?
Honestly, I think she did really well. She definitely looks like a natural just, on camera.
Yeah, I mean, it was really great to just have her come on the show and really, kind of see where she's at. And I think that she's got a future here in the spotlight.
I think she's going to do amazing.
Yep.
Honestly. But, however, switching from SCU sports, let's go over and talk about some professional sports now. Drew Smyly and the Tampa Bay Rays argued MLB's first arbitration case of the year, which saw Drew Smyly, surprisingly, win out. The conflict is reportedly over a contract disagreement of $550,000. There will be 15 arbitration cases heard this year, which tops last year's high of 14.
Well, the regular season ended a while ago for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and although they finished with a 6-10 record, there are still plenty of positives this season. The Buccaneers were able to send 5 players to the Pro Bowl this past season. Gerald McCoy, Doug Martin, Levante David, Logan Mankins, and even rookie QB Jameis Winston all got the nod to represent the Bay Area in Honolulu. Both Winston and Martin had touchdowns in the game and are both favorites to take home the Rookie and Comeback Player of the Year awards.
The Tampa Bay Lightning continued their hot play fresh off the All-Star break after they defeated the Detroit Red Wings 3-1. With the victory, the Lightning earned 2 points, making their total 60 for the year. Next up for the Lightning is a matchup in Ottawa versus the Senators on Monday at 7:30 p.m.
On Wednesday, the Orlando Magic were hoping to avenge their double overtime loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder earlier this season, but lost once again in a closely contested ballgame. Former MVP Kevin Durant hit a last-second three-pointer after crossing over Tobias Harris to give OKC a 117-114 win. After this loss, the Magic now sit at 21-27, only good enough for 12th in the Eastern Conference. They will face the Atlanta Hawks at home this Sunday at 1 p.m. This has been your Spotlight Sports Update. I'm Brandon Crotchet.
And I'm Asher Polion. Now back to you, Miriam and Ashanti.
Thank you so much, Asher and Brandon. In horrible condition and suffering for weeks, a Good Samaritan discovered 8 small puppies in the box on the side of a road on Sunday night, tossed like trash near 22nd Street and Bush Boulevard in Tampa. According to Pam Baker of the Humane Society of Tampa Bay, if it hadn't been for that Good Samaritan, these babies surely would have died without fail, no questions whatsoever, because they were just too far gone. Currently, the puppies are undergoing treatment and therapy like medicated baths, antibiotics, and of course, lots of high-quality food.
Now, Brenda Torres is going to be telling us something good on a more positive note.
Thank you, Ashanti and Miriam. This is where I share inspiring and heartwarming stories from people just like you. This is Tell Me Something Good. The dress a girl wears to prom can be a pretty big deal in a girl's life. Way Girl on Twitter just made it an even bigger deal this past week. Let's take a look.
This is so much. This is so awesome.
And that is exactly how we feel after Gina Rodriguez, the Hollywood actress with the leading role in Jane the Virgin, agreed to give her first Golden Globes dress to a fan. This happened after Jessica Casanova tweeted the 31-year-old if she could wear her dress to prom. The Hollywood actress tweeted back that it was something that could happen. She then followed with a tweet saying, "Let's talk about it. I'm reaching out." The actress showed she has one of the biggest hearts in Hollywood.
Gina Rodriguez may have gained some points in the cool department, but when it comes to Principal Terry Burton from Omaha, Nebraska, he definitely breaks the scale. Let's see why.
Let's have our guests come out.
And that is how Alvin Garcia was surprised with his prosthetic arm, all thanks to his school principal who contacted Limitless Solutions, who made and planned the elaborate delivery with the help of Darth Vader and Stormtrooper.
See, Darth Vader isn't so bad. Some good can definitely come from some darkness. So remember, there's always good in the world and there's always a need to do a good deed. Hope you enjoyed this edition of Tell Me Something Good. I'm Brenda Torres. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Brenda. There are now 2 Hillsborough County residents who have been diagnosed with the Zika virus. The cases are all travel-related. The Florida Department of Health on Tuesday released an update total of the number of Floridians who have contracted the Zika disease. The agency reported 6 new travel-associated cases of Zika in Florida to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention. Travel-related diseases are defined as diseases believed to be contracted outside of the United States. To date, Florida has confirmed 9 travel-associated cases, which involve residents from the following counties: 4 in Miami-Dade, 2 in Hillsborough, 2 in Lee, and 1 in Santa Rosa. While the CDC has not identified Florida as an area of local Zika risk, the Florida Department of Health is closely monitoring imported diseases. Now our very own Nadia Schultz will be having a student spotlight.
Thank you, Miriam and Ashanti. Hi, everybody. My name is Nadia Schultz, and we are on the set of Student Spotlight. Today, we have Ren Sandoval. Thank you so much for coming, Ren.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So, you are an RA on campus, right? And
Yeah.
you are an RA for Bethany.
Yes.
And what has been the most challenging thing about that?
The most challenging thing about being an RA in Bethany is just the pressure I put on myself. I want to be there for them for every little thing. And so I just need to realize to like kind of take a step back, and you know, they're grown girls, they can do what they need. And so just to chill and have fun.
Yeah, and what has been your favorite part about being an RA?
My favorite part is that just the fun we have. Living in Bethany creates such a sense of community. Anytime you need anything, there's girls always around. And so there's just so many moments for spontaneous laughter, fun. Like, I really like the community.
For sure. I love Bethany. And you were an RA for Aventura before that, right?
Yeah.
And what has been like the comparison between being a Bethany RA and an Aventura RA?
Yeah, well, I really enjoyed being an RA in Aventura, but I feel like Bethany definitely has my heart. It's crazy the difference that just having a hallway makes. You feel like a total sense of like togetherness. In Aventura, everyone's kind of really doing their own thing, but in Bethany, you just feel together just simply because there's a hallway, and when you open your door, there's someone there.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love being in
Yeah.
Bethany too. So over Christmas break, you had the opportunity to go to Israel.
Yeah.
So what was that like?
It was life-changing. It deepened my faith. To actually be where like Jesus walked just does something to you, and you fully believe, and when you fully believe, you fully have trust, and so that has just changed my faith.
That's so cool. So did you go by yourself or did you go with a team?
I went with an organization called Covenant Journey, and through this organization I applied, and 5 other students from Southeastern went, and we met up with a group of like 50 other college students from around the nation. So it was a lot of fun.
That's incredible. I'm so glad that you got to go on that
Thank
trip.
you.
So speaking of missions trips, you are a missionary kid. And what has it been like growing up being a missionary kid?
Well, I was a missionary kid the first 6 years of my life to Brazil, and so I feel like that really gave me an opportunity to experience diversity and value it. And so I feel like everywhere I go now, I have a sense of like just seeing people for who they are and appreciating their different colors, like just their sense of culture. It really just, I'm able to embrace culture now.
That's amazing. I'm blown away by that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So now we are going to go into a little segment called Speed Round, and I'm just going to try and ask you as many questions as I can
Okay.
in the next like 20 to 30 seconds. So are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. So
I hope so.
all right. So favorite TV show?
Martin.
Camping or hiking?
Hiking.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Movies or books?
Movies.
Disney or Universal?
Universal.
Favorite animal?
Dogs.
Do you like your name?
Yes.
Favorite superhero?
Wonder Woman.
Can you juggle?
No.
And favorite time of day?
Right before the sun is setting.
So cool. Well, that's all the time that we have today. Thank you so much for coming, Ren. And we are going to go back to Miriam and Ashanti now.
Thank you, Nadia. A private company that oversees security at a Tampa juvenile detention facility has suspended 4 employees without pay after 2 teens escaped. G4S Youth Services spokeswoman Monica Garcia tells the Tampa Bay Times the employees suspended on Monday include 3 youth care workers and 1 supervisor. They work at the Tampa Residential Facility, a center for high-risk male offenders between the ages of 14 and 18. Garcia says that the company's internal investigations after the escape questions whether proper procedures were followed. She says they are working with the Florida Department of Juvenile Justice on a corrective plan. Now it's time for a more positive outlook on the city of Lakeland one more time with Kaylee Green in entertainment.
Hey everybody, I'm Kaylee Green with Spotlight News here at the 20th Annual Lakeland Pig Fest. If you come to the Pig Fest, you better be ready to pig out. Let's check it out.
We were able to talk to the volunteer coordinator on the PigFest board to find out how this massive nonprofit barbecue event got started.
Over 20 years ago, because this is our 20th anniversary, there were 4 gentlemen who had gone to a competition in another state, and they loved it so much that they thought they wanted to bring it back to our community, so that's how it started.
The PigFest was full of a variety of food that local residents just couldn't get enough of.
Probably is going to be the egg rolls would be my favorite.
The ribs. All pork, ribs. Definitely ribs. And the sauce.
In order for them to get a hold of this delicious barbecue, they had to exchange their dollars for pig bucks. Once they had the pig bucks, they could purchase the incredible food that the vendors had spent weeks preparing for.
Our biggest seller is our home. We are the home of the famous jalapeno pulled pork popper, but also the kielbasa sausage.
I think our biggest seller today was brisket. We took a calculated risk. I think the team might agree, but a tie goes to the runner for our strawberry fritters.
Whether you're looking for a fun weekend with friends, great barbecue, or great music, Lakeland PigFest is the way to go. For Spotlight News, I'm Kaylee Green. Back to you, Miriam and Ashanti.
Well, that's all the time we have here tonight for Spotlight News. I'm Ashanti Stewart.
And I'm Miriam Woodard.